that being said, if you're just like me and you're trying to shop around, Timmy Moore, our tech expert, is here to help us out this morning. Hey, Timmy.
Hey.
Good to have you on, as always. Now, this is some very helpful information for folks who are either looking to switch cell phone providers to possibly get the iPhone or any phone for that matter.
It is, yes. We have the three main carriers that are actually officially carrying the iPhone. We have AT&T, Sprint, and Verizon. Starting off, you would want to look at the network. Like, the biggest feature of the iPhone is LTE. You're able to get that faster speeds, faster web browsing. So really, both networks offer LTE, which is why Apple chose them. With the cell phone carrier coverage.
So here we're at LTE.
Yes.
And then
they all have LTE, but what AT&T did before 4G came along is they kind of enhanced their 3G network. Because when the iPhone first released, it really bogged them down because they weren't prepared for it and they just didn't prepare in time.
Gotcha.
So that's why they got the reputation of dropped calls, holding it wrong, all that type of stuff. But then Verizon took that as an advantage and they started building out their 4G network, so they kind of got that advantage. Now AT&T is starting to do that. So AT&T has 53 LTE markets, so that means your iPhone will work in 53 areas on AT&T. Sprint does have some markets. They only have 19, but here's where Verizon comes out. They have 370 plus markets right now.
Woohoo! So, Verizon. Okay, but yet you have the positive there, but there's also some downfalls.
There is some downfalls.
Each one of these.
AT&T's advantage, since they are a GSM network, they can talk and surf at the same time. So if you're on a call and you want to make a reservation, you can do that. On Verizon, you can't. You can either use the calling feature or the web browser at one time.
It's one or the other.
It's one or the other, unless you're on Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So that's one advantage. Drop call rate. Here's where it kind of gets a little bit.
And we're right here, which is, that's big. That's a selling point for a lot of people.
It is, because you want to use the main part of the phone, which is a phone. So the drop call rate on AT&T is 4.6%, Sprint's is 2.7%, and Verizon takes the lead with 1.4%. As we said, simultaneous voice and data. You can do it on Verizon, but you got to be over Wi-Fi.
4.6% is a big number.
That is a pretty big number.
That's huge.
That's
I always heard the rumor that Sprint was the main culprit for the dropped calls.
Sprint is actually pretty good on call quality-wise. Web browsing-wise, they're there, but you have to be really, really patient with their web browsing speeds.
Okay. What else do we have that we want to look at here, Timmy? Unlimited data. Let's talk about that, because what's a cell phone with all these great features if you don't get what?
That's right.
You can't really use them.
AT&T had unlimited, same with Verizon, they had their unlimited data. AT&T dropped theirs, and then usually when one carrier gets away with making a change, other carriers do too. So Verizon did drop unlimited data, but they told customers that had it, don't worry, you can keep it.
Right.
Sprint took that as an advantage. They said, no, we're going to offer unlimited data for everybody, and that's current right now. But the downside is Sprint's going to get really bogged down with that, and everybody's going to try to use the network as much as possible, and that could be a disadvantage for them.
Okay, so price point. I guess that's what it comes down to for some people as well, because a lot of people pick their plans based on how much they can afford. So
Verizon and AT&T are known to be the most expensive, but you really do get what you pay for in this advantage. Like, actually, if you were to do one phone with one tablet, so you got your iPhone and you wanted to add a tablet.
Which is really cool too, by the way, because not all cell phone providers will give you the option to have your iPhone be a part of that plan as well. I'm sorry, your tablet.
Yeah. So if you wanted to share that data, so if you didn't want to pay for 2 data plans, that's really is an advantage. But for unlimited data users, are like Elizabeth was talking about, she's on one plan. She doesn't want to switch to a share plan because she's going to share it with herself. So that's where Sprint actually does get a little bit pricey, but you do get more data. You can get $160 a month for 6 gigs and with a tablet. Verizon does actually come out in the lead here with $130 a month for 6 gigs of data, and AT&T's is $135. And then you can go up from there. You can add 1 phone, you can add 2 phones, 3 phones, all up from there.
Okay, this is a really great chart, a lot of helpful information. Timmy, if anybody has any questions after seeing this segment, where can they get a hold of you?
They can ask me on Twitter. I can direct message them, and they would be able to ask any questions. I'm sure this would be posted on the website, so they can look there.
You are the expert. So Timmy Moore, definitely, if you have any questions, get them answered from him. Next week, Timmy, you will have the coveted iPhone 5. This is like Christmas for him, waiting for this iPhone 5 to get to his home. So we will do a little comparing and contrasting of the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 4S, but that'll be next week. Thank you so much for joining us, Timmy.
Thank you.